Hello guys, this is your host Saro here, and welcome once again to the BEP Podcast for the SaveCaseClosed campaign. And again, the user SaveCaseClosed has the full rundown to the campaign, and so check them out. On episode 2 today, we'll be talking about the plot and the characters, so you can get a real feel for the show. Got a lot to talk about in just one episode, so let's get to it. Case Closed. It's an anime series popular in the detective and mystery crowds. A teen detective, Jimmy Kudo, turned child by an enigmatic drug given to him by two men in black. And I know what you might be thinking, and no, it has nothing to do with the movie. It's just a happy coincidence that they are called that from time to time. So, been turned into a kid with no clear way of turning back. The only way he'll hope to get back to the original state is if he finds those men in black. And with the help of Professor Agasa and his gadgets he supplies him, Jimmy Kudo will remain under the name Conan Edogawa, and to find those men in black. On another note, to help him out, Agasa arranges Conan to move in with his childhood friend, Rachel Moore, and her father, Richard, who is also a detective. He, however, sucks at what he does. No offense, Richard. So Conan helps him out by putting him to sleep with his stun gun wristwatch and mimics his voice with his voice-changing bow tie. Agasa has quite the imagination. So, the plan is getting Richard as many clients as he can to get a lead on those men in black. Okay, let's talk characters. We've got the star, Jimmy Kudo, and his alter ego, Conan Edogawa, the alias he was forced to assume after being given the drug. Jimmy Kudo, a cocky, full-of-himself detective. I think because of his new alias, he has learned to be a little more modest, self-restraint. Not that he has much choice. I always thought that if Mr. Edogawa never existed, Jimmy was on a first-class plane to Richardville. Only a little more successful. Just a little bit. Just kidding. Okay, the childhood friend is up now, the beautiful Rachel Moore. Like Richard said after Rachel spoke of stalkerism and that it could happen to any woman any time. Ha ha ha! You'll never have that problem, Rachel. The only way a man would ever stalk you is if I paid him in advance. I don't think he had the same meaning as to what I'm implying, but you get the idea. Richard is without a doubt a grade A idiot, but he's pretty fun to do impressions of. Okay, and believe it or not, he has his moments where he's like coolest character material. Back to Rachel though. What I implied was that Rachel is a karate champion, but she's very caring, afraid of ghosts, and like Jimmy, does not admit to the love she has for her soulmate. Just to be clear, Rachel is Jimmy's love interest and she loves him back. Classic story of unspoken love. As for Richard, his love was spoken and then lost. He is now divorced from his wife, but Rachel tries to set them up every opportunity she gets. Aside from that, Richard is up for he's not completely inept at everything he does, basically. He knows judo, he is in fact a police academy graduate, and why he went detective, I believe that's explained in one of the movies. And most of all, he loves his daughter very much, like any real father should. Now, for some other main characters, Dr. Agasa, according to Jimmy, as in these are his words, not mine. You're Dr. Agasa, 52 years old. You invent all kinds of crazy gadgets that you say are going to revolutionize the world. You're Dr. Agasa, 52 years old. You invent all kinds of crazy gadgets that you say are going to revolutionize the world, except they never work right, and you have a mole on your rear end with a hair growing out of it. Thank you, Jimmy, for adding that last part. I really appreciate it. One thing he didn't mention, his first name is Herschel in the dub, and he is a very close family friend. And another thing, his inventions are actually quite useful to him, and has gotten him out of more than one jam in his search for the men in black. Now, and they're also useful to the following characters I shall now introduce. George Kaminsky, Amy Yeager, and Mitchell Tennyson. or otherwise known as the Junior Detective League. Woo! Trumpet fanfare, yay, woo, blah blah blah. Okay, George is self-proclaimed leader. He is, well, obviously Conan's the one that's going to be the one to guide them into victory, but so other than that, the muscle of the group that he is, he does give a pretty good pep talk every now and then, even though some of them come off as threats, which some of them actually are. Amy provides a keen sense of observational skills for a 6-year-old. That's pretty impressive. That's basically her thing. She's also the only female of the dub series, and in the team. I say that because the original animation, they are known as the Detective Boys. Now Mitch. Mitch is obviously the rational, plan-ahead type that, gives a deduction here and there. Most of the time wrong, but, they are all kids after all, they are kids. So, I never really gave an opinion on Conan. Conan's the real leader, just not on the record. And let's see. But around most people, he's a pretty normal kid. Just not around Rachel and some adults. He has to act a little extra kid-like to get people off his back. The other team members have actually noticed this and thought it was a little weird. Okay, now let's see what we've got here. We've got family friend Serena Sebastian of the wealthy Sebastian family. One can explain her character in 2 words: spoiled and boy crazy. But I am not that one. I'm not denying that description, no. But she is also Rachel's best friend since, ever, after all. And Conan has even used her when Richard wasn't around for his deduction show. Unfortunately, like Richard, she totally bought into this and let it go to her head, calling herself a deduction queen and whatnot. Anyway, quick mention here, because there's not much to say. Joseph McGuire, an inspector from the Tokyo Metropolitan Police District, often in episodes because of that. He's a man of the law, and that's something I can respect. Someone completely against the law, only known as that person, aka the leader of the black organization, and his identity has yet to be revealed. Many have been suspected as that person, but nothing ever proven. Now, under his command, we have Jin and Vodka. Jin is a highly ranking executive and very skilled, to say the least. Vodka, often his partner, is not as experienced and tends to make rookie mistakes here and there. No offense, Vodka. How Jin got stuck with him for a partner is beyond me. And now to wrap this character introduction, I'll give a small mention to perhaps the most favorite guest star of the series. The one, the only, other than his father, Phantom Thief Kid. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think he has an English name, so his true identity is Kaito Kuroba. Kaito is confident, has a lot of things in common with Jimmy other than the fact that they look almost alike. He has a terrible fear from fish, too, for some reason. I think it's irrational. But anyways, so I can wrap this episode up, a few ending notes here. I want to thank you all for the support, and to the SCC partners that I've thrown messages at. They seem really nice and professional, all in all. So, thank you. Also, check out, if you haven't already checked out Fullmetal 117's new video, the unboxing of Case Closed Season 5. I watched it myself, and as always, quite professional. Also, Subtitle Leaf Blade 87's video, episode 18 and 19, I believe, of the follow-up is uploaded, so check that out. Thank you for watching the BEP Podcast for the Save Case Closed campaign, and this is your humble servant, Saru, signing off. Good night, everybody.